So I'm going to just take a moment to introduce myself before we and tell maybe a little bit about my story and the story of the Queen City Sisterhood and the story of the Restoration Place before we tell the stories of some phenomenal mothers who we have here this morning. My name is Genette Howard, and I am the founder of the Queen City Sisterhood, which is actually hosting this event. This event actually was supposed to be yesterday. We had a special tea that we were going to be hosting and honoring mothers in the community, but because of family obligations, I had to shift some things, and so we decided to do this here this morning to honor you all here at the Restoration Place this morning. The Queen City Sisterhood, let me tell you a little bit about the Queen City Sisterhood. It's an organization that I founded maybe about 3 years ago now, close close to 4 years ago now. And I'll tell you a little bit about how it started, because I know some of you are in here because of your involvement or interest in the Queen City Sisterhood. And so our family, you met my husband, Pastor Dexter Howard, and our 6 daughters. We have 6 daughters. Yeah, I know. I say that for the wow. I know. Yeah, yeah. We have 6 daughters, and I birthed all 6 of them. And so we have 6 daughters, and this July will be 5 years ago we moved from Northwest Arkansas. Fayetteville, Arkansas is the city. The region is, we call it Northwest Arkansas because it's more of a region. We moved from Northwest Arkansas, where we there had founded and pioneered a thriving church campus there. And about year 15 of leading that church campus, my husband and I I finally joined him in it, but my husband just felt just a calling that he could not shake, to move our family out to Charlotte, to expand our ministry out east, and to really plant here, to come here and kind of headquarter things at in our international ministry, but also to plant another church campus, which we call the Restoration Place. This campus has been in existence for 3 years now. And so when we first moved our big mega family to the East Coast, we knew nobody in this city except one family, Anyesa Johnson and her family, who are members of the Restoration Place. They're not here this morning, but we knew their family. And because they were formerly members at our campus in Arkansas before they moved to Charlotte, those are the only people we knew in this big growing region of 2.5 million people, or how many ever people are here. It's growing every day. We didn't know anybody. And I wasn't doing well. I'll be honest with you. I was not doing well. I did not think the move was going to be that emotionally difficult for me, in terms of not knowing anybody. I didn't know how to be a stranger. I didn't know how to not have community. I didn't know how to not have family around me. I had my husband and my 6 daughters, but he was still traveling everywhere, and the girls were involved in college and school. And I didn't have I didn't have no sister friends, y'all. And I didn't know how to do. I guess I took it for granted. I had never been a stranger. I did not know how to not be known. I did not know how to not have somebody to pick up the phone and just call and say, "Hey, girl, let's go do something." I didn't know how to live like that. And I was lonely, probably for the first time in my life. I really was very, very lonely. I was not doing well. And so I did know a few people from here and there that I had connected with over the months at my kids' school, and here, there, and the other. And so I was praying a lot about it, and I decided to do what the Bible says to do. If you want to have a friend, show yourself friendly. And so I hosted a breakfast, and I asked a couple of friends that I knew. I said, "Hey, if I get this room and host a breakfast, and you invite some people and I invite some people, and let's just see, who comes." And so I did that, like, and 20 women showed up in that little room, for breakfast. 20 women. It was a small room at a local restaurant, and we were crowded in there. And by the time it finished, we all would cry. We had laughed. We had cried together. We had all had such a great time in that room together. We felt like sisters. And so everybody needed it. And so they said to me, Genette, do it again. And so I did it again. And so I hosted another breakfast. About 40 women filled that room up. I don't know if some of you guys were a part of that in those early days. This is about 3.5 years ago. And everybody loved it so much, they said, Genette, do it again. So I did it again. It was coming up on Christmas. I hosted a Christmas event or Christmas something. I don't know what I called it. And about between 50 and 60 women showed up that just needed, I didn't have like an agenda or anything. It was just coming out, hanging out. It was community. It was friendship. It was sisterhood. And so I said, okay, this is becoming something. And so um, I was one day walking, doing my run walk. I'm a walker who wants to be a runner. And so I'm a walker who trying to be a runner. But anyway, I just get tired. And so I just start walking again. So I was doing my little walk run, and I remember where I was, and I heard this word, Queen City Sisterhood. I stopped walking, running, whatever I was doing, and I heard it, and I said, "What is that?" And then all of a sudden I thought, "Is this what this is? Is this what this is?" That has been happening, these women gathering together. And so I pulled some of the women who had been coming, I pulled a team of them together and cast a vision. And that's how the Queen City Sisterhood officially was born. And so when we launched our church here at the Restoration Place, we pulled Queen City Sisterhood under the umbrella as an outreach. And so here at the Restoration Place, we don't really do like, in-house women's ministry. Our women's ministry is an outreach to the women of Charlotte. And so the Queen City Sisterhood, it exists to connect women in the Charlotte metro together uh, to create greater, what is it, friendships, faith, and fulfillment in life because we are better together. Yeah, we're better together. And we have the old, young, and people from every walk of life. And we host an event. Our team, we have a planning team, and we host an event once per quarter. And we create an experience to connect women together. And it works wonderfully every time we come together. It's a wonderful experience where nobody is a stranger. It's all about connection because I came to Charlotte as a stranger looking for a place to connect. And that's exactly what Queen City Sisterhood is about. It is about a place for women who are looking for community. They're looking for a tribe. They're looking to connect on a meaningful level. And so that's what Queen City Sisterhood is all about. And for our second quarter event, we had a wonderful first quarter event. We call it a breakthrough breakfast, and it was so powerful. So our second quarter event, we knew was around Mother's Day time. And so uh, just, I'm a worshiper, and I really do choose the essential part every day. And in me choosing that essential part every day, I really heard moms who made it. I heard it. I heard moms who made it. And I thought, wow, what a great Mother's Day theme. Moms who made it. And so I pulled the team. Thank God for my team. Thank you guys who serve. And y'all just, I come to the table with these ideas, and the ladies say, yeah, let's go with that. I have a little piece of it, and somebody else puts another piece of it together, and that's how it works, right? Teamwork makes the dream work because we're better together. And so we thought, what if we call for nominations of women in the Charlotte Metro, these mothers who have faced incredible circumstances, but they have overcome and they're doing great things. What if we, just call for nominations and then get women to nominate them and just kind of see what happens, and then we give them awards? Would that be great? Everybody's like, yeah, that'll be great. And so we put the whole platform and system together to do that. And my gosh, did we get some powerful nominations and some wonderful stories. It exceeded really anything that we had imagined. And so it is my honor today to present to you the stories of some really phenomenal women in the Charlotte Metro that I can't wait to introduce you to them and share their stories with you. I believe in the power of stories and testimonies. Stories, don't you underestimate the power of somebody's story and your own. You know, scripturally, the Bible says in the book of Revelation, and they overcame him, meaning the devil. It's literally in context talking about the devil, the enemy of your life. I believe it's Revelation 12. It says, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. And that means that people's testimonies, your own testimony, not only is it powerful for you to remember what God has done, but it is powerful to other people when you tell them what God has done. It gives people hope. It gives people, it encourages people. It lets people know that not to give up. Your story is so powerful. And I know sometimes it's hard to tell your story. I can imagine even seeing your story shared publicly made you feel a little vulnerable, because not every part of our story is good. It's not a mountaintop. It's full of pits and valleys and really really hard stuff. Some of it can even be shameful. Some of the pits you dug for yourself, some of the pits you were laid for you and you tripped and you fell in it, but either way it goes, your story, I get it's difficult to tell your story. It makes you feel vulnerable, but that's the only way God gets glory. We can't just tell about the mountaintop. If you tell about the mountaintop, you get the glory. But if you tell about the pit, he gets the glory. Do y'all see what I'm saying? And so we were looking for stories that really were a story of defeat uh, turned into victory and triumph, so that we could encourage all women, or anybody. It's not just women, but anybody. And so I'm so honored to share these stories with you. And before I share our the stories of 5 honorees, we had some honorable mentions. We had many nominations that came in, and we chose 5 of them, but we also had some that were just so wonderful that we wanted to also acknowledge them today, and gift you as well with just bless you as well. And these are our honorable mentions. So first we have Lakeisha Williams. Lakeisha, can you come? Somebody help me with the gifts. I don't know which is which. Thank you, Barbara. This is Lakeisha, my sister, my sorority sister, and my sister. And I'll tell a little bit about Lakeisha and even how I heard her story. Right when we were planning all of this and know we were going to host an event like this, Moms Who Made It, I met her at a track meet, and um, our twins were running track, and my soror came and sat down beside me. Someone introduced her to me, and we were just talking. Her spirit was just so on. You were just on 10, bubbly. Yeah, she was just so she was just so easy to connect with, and she was just so friendly, and I loved her spirit, And then we just chatting it up. The 3 of us were just chatting it up, and then she just kind of said, "And I lost my husband last November," and she just kept. I said, "Whoa, whoa, 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 rewind. You just lost your husband?" And she said, "Yeah." And time just stopped for a minute, because it had just been just a few months ago. And so all of a sudden I was marveling at this beautiful woman whose spirit is so positive, and she just lost her husband. And you don't, well, because we finally met and shared. And at that time I was recovering very slowly from a sickness, a setback. And I around the same time you lost your husband, it's around the same time I got very, very sick. And I thought it just put everything in perspective to me. I said, I'm sitting here complaining because I'm not, I haven't recovered as quickly as I would like from my little sickness. And this sister right here, she didn't know. That's what I was thinking. Oh my God, forgive me. And your attitude was just so wonderful. And so you were my nominee as a mom who made it. You inspired me that day. Yeah, she inspired me so much that day. So we just have a package for you, Lakeisha. And I know you and your babies are still in the process.
We are.
Yeah.
Tell everyone, I lead with what God has given us and what He has given me. So the great mood and all of that good stuff. I'm a coach. I'm a mommy. But I'm a child of God first. And so when you meet me, I'm gonna lead with what I have been given. He has taken away my husband at an early age, 40 years old, pneumonia, totally unexpected. And I carry that burden, but I think our faith is just unbelievable. I mean, so when I watch my kids and I see that they're able to make it, I have to kind of stand up and kind of push along and give back. But it was just amazing because she looked at me and she's like, wait a minute, hold on a second. What? You're carrying that burden. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, I make it look easy, but it isn't. But I know my faith will pull me through. So yes, I appreciate you. Yes. And I love you. Yes. I love you.
Awesome. And Miss Rosie, come on up. You just shocked me. I wasn't expecting. I know the stories, but I wasn't expecting you to be this young, honestly. So tell us a little bit about you, Rosie.
Well, I'm 32. I'll be 33 next month. I have three boys, 13, 10, and 8.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm a single mother. And back in 2012, I was ran over by a car, domestic violence. And so I went through like depression, and I still go to therapy. I have PTSD and other problems, but um, I just started my own business. It's a online women's boutique, um, and I'm just getting started a nonprofit organization. It's called Glow Getters of Charlotte. It's for minority women to help bring them together and do things in the community.
Wow.
And then someone heard my story, and they're putting together like a book, and so I'll be in anthology called The Beauty in My Mess. So that'll come out later.
Come on,
so
Rosie.
I'm just glad to be here because I feel like I was given I was kept for a reason because I was supposed to be dead back in 2012. So I just live every day to the fullest because I'm not supposed to be here.
Wow.
So, thank you.
Wonderful. Oh, man, awesome. Awesome. We have a gift for you, Rosie. Thank you so much. Thank you. Can I see your program? Thank you. Thank you. Keep missing mine. And then we have some other honorable mentions. They could not be here today, and that's Ann Ashford Hardy, Marcy Stewart, and Lucinda Sitnor. All these women have powerful stories of overcoming and now having the victory. And what I love about all of our honorable mentions and honorees, they are all for what they have endured and overcome. What I love about them all, what all of you will find out you have in common, is not just your difficult experiences you've been through and endured, and your determination and your perseverance and your achievements. Not only that, but every one of you is giving back. And that is what really blew me away, is that every one of you all is giving back in a powerful way. And so our first honoree, we had 5 honorees that we chose, and we wanted to share their stories. And our first is Kiana Palmer. Can everybody put your hands together for Miss Kiana Palmer? Now, these are all mothers, so they carry, of course, the weight of motherhood. Kiana is a mother of 14-year-old Keon Palmer, and she has an amazing story of resilience and a determination to succeed. Kiana has endured a series of setbacks, including the loss of her son's father to mental illness. She has experienced homelessness and unemployment, but she has never given up on her dreams to provide a better life for her son and to make a difference in the life of others. She has risen to become a successful entrepreneur who owns Image Czar Communications, LLC. It's a great concept. It's a virtual call center company that provides individuals with the opportunity to become an independent home-based business as a client support professional servicing Fortune 500 companies. Kiana is also a poet whose artistry has earned her the distinction of Poet of the Year and a nomination as Author of the Year. She serves as a board member for Hope for All of Charlotte, and she was recently named to the 2019 class of Who's Who in Black Charlotte. Can you all help me welcome Kiana? Kiana, can you come? We want to present your gift to you. And if you just have any words of encouragement you would like to share with these moms today.
Hello, everybody. Speaking of, I just want to speak on the aspect of doing the essential, because throughout my entire, I guess, journey of being a mom and really prioritizing things that really matter, I have been met with a lot of pushback and a lot of fight. And I tell people all the time, you literally have to fight for your peace out here. You have to fight for your peace, and you can't be apologetic. You got to do it unapologetically. So when you have to do the essentials, there's going to be people who's going to be around telling you you're not doing enough. They're going to try to encourage you to wear yourself into the ground until you don't have nothing left. Don't listen to them. You got to stand solid. You got to keep telling yourself that I'm doing what's the best for me. I need to rest. You know, you go to work, you take care of your kids, you help them with their homework, you cook, you clean. You have to rest.
Come on now.
There's no sleeping when you die. You sleep. You sleep at night or sleep when you gotta when you're able to get some rest.
Right.
So you have to continue to select the essentials and understand how important that is, because it will link you or lead you to mental health problems, physical health conditions, anything,
Yes, ma'am.
cancer, stroke, heart attack, all kind of that stuff. You have got to choose the essential and do it unapologetically.
Yes, ma'am.
Also, too, with expansion, I may not be where I want to be right now, but I am far, far from where I started, and I am thankful. But thank you so much for everything. My brother actually was the one who nominated me for this, and him and his wife live in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Wow.
And so I truly do appreciate him and everything that he does. He really does understand me more than anybody else that I know. And I appreciate this opportunity, because as moms, we don't do this for a pat on our back. We don't even do it to say, hey, look what I did. Like, you don't even think about it. You just rolling, 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 rolling. And then stuff get done. So it's like, even though we don't do it, you know, for all of that, it's definitely appreciative that it's even being recognized, to continue to inspire other people to keep pushing through, to keep going on, to stay healthy, to stay balanced, and keep on going. So I thank you all very much. I really do appreciate this, and I really can't say thank you enough. Thank you so much.
Awesome, Kiana.
Wonderful. And we have a package for you here, a gift for you here. It's just something from our hearts, the Queen City Sisterhood, to you. Photo op, did you get it? Great, great, great. Well, our next honoree, her name is Miss Jennifer Cook. And Jennifer, I don't know if you knew this. You probably don't know this. You were nominated like 5 times, 4 or 5 times. You have inspired a whole lot of people. Jennifer is the proud single mother of 6-year-old Mr. James A. Master, James A. Barr III. That's James there. He's highly social. You see James? He came in hugging people, introducing himself. Jennifer has an inspiring story of courage, perseverance, and resilience. Her story began in New York City. Any New York people in the house? Yeah, I know. Her story began in New York City, where she was born and reared in a loving family with both her parents, who instilled in her a strong faith in God. She graduated from St. John University. Yeah. We're saying that because our dearest friends, who were former, is the new head coach at St. John University basketball. Small world. She graduated from St. John University and began her paralegal career with aspirations to become an attorney. But the trajectory of her life changed at the age of 22 when her father passed away suddenly, and she experienced years in a marriage that was mentally and emotionally toxic. She eventually was divorced, unhappy, and unhealthy, weighing 298 pounds at only 5'1". Instead of settling and giving up on her dreams, Jennifer faced her challenges with strong faith in God and a mindset to become the best version of herself so that she could give her son a good life and help others. Jennifer has lost 110 pounds. Yeah. And has become the owner of Fashion the Mind, Fashion the Figure, LLC, which is an impactful motivational speaking and coaching business. Her mission is to help others build class, confidence, and courage. Jennifer has been featured in several magazines, and her inspirational work has earned her many distinctions, namely 50 Groundbreaking Women of the Carolinas and a nomination for the Most Influential Women in Charlotte in 2018. Can you all help me welcome and honor Miss Jennifer Cook? Come on, Miss Jennifer. I know you got some words of encouragement.
Yes, ma'am. First, I just want to give honor to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Yes. Oftentimes, I tell people I'm the church girl going bad, but I'm back. Okay. Because I grew up in the church. And when, that's why the Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go. And even when he's old and they depart, some kind of way, God has a way of pulling you back. And so through all of my life challenges, I was a daddy's girl. And I tell everybody, I said I had the best daddy in the whole wide world. And I wish every girl could have had a father like mine, because he was the epitome of what a man should be and how to take care of his family and to represent. And so when I lost him suddenly to cancer, and it was really, we found out in October and January, that morning of my 21st birthday, he was gone. But God had given me such peace with it. He had awakened me to let me know that, daddy wasn't coming back. So I kind of went off on a path that brings me to this point today. And one thing that I have learned is everything that I've been through, it's not about me. God wants to use me to be a blessing to somebody else. And so I had married someone who, as Pastor Howard said, wasn't good for me. But you know how we are, ladies. When you find that somebody who shakes your foundation to your core, you lose all sense. But even in that, God was still knocking at my door, because being married to him, all of his friends were like, you different. You not like all the other girls he's ever dated. And so again, had gotten so heavy. I was depressed. I was eating food, and food became my comfort. And I got to that point at my highest. I'm only 5'1", 298 pounds. And there is that moment you look at yourself and you're like, okay, what is really going on here? So fast forward, I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina. And sometimes you think your love can change people. And I'm a believer now. When people show you who they are, believe them. Okay? And when you learn to accept people the way they are and not what you want them to be, you eliminate a lot of stress in your life. And so I met my son's father, who is actually 11 years my senior. And I thought this was it. This was going to be my forever person. Well, he left me when I was 5 months pregnant, but it's okay, because I had one or two choices. I could either give up or I can continue to fight. And I chose to fight, because I had to go back to my spiritual foundation that says, greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. So even when you make mistakes and bad choices, hold on to God. Let God be the one. I love the song we sang this morning about worship, because that's what my life is established on, is worship. God gave me an assignment about nearly 5 years ago. Every Monday morning, there's a group of us that get on a prayer call call that I lead at 5:30 a.m. every Monday morning. That is a sacrifice. But because I sacrifice for God, God has sacrificed for me. And so here I am. I work in corporate America, but I have 3 businesses that he's allowing me to grow all at the same time. I have a boss who supports me. She is so proud of me that I am here today. Last weekend, I received the Fashion Forward Award. I've been down to Washington, D.C., being a panel moderator at a women's conference with over 3,500 change leaders. And I'm looking at myself and I'm saying, oh, this little black girl from Queens? I was like, but go ahead, God, because the best is yet to come. And I believe his word when he said, eyes have not seen and ears have not heard, neither has it entered into the heart of man the things that God has in store for those that love him. And I told God, I said, you know what? I love you. And because my physical father's not here, I'm a single woman. You are the best husband a girl could ever have. And so I'm good, Daddy. I'm good until Mr. Right comes along. So thank you so much for everyone that honored me, that read my story. And all I'm going to tell you is this. Remember this black face. Remember the fiery redhead lady with the funky glasses on? Because I'm going national, ladies and gentlemen. God done already let me know that. So I'm excited.
Come on. Come on.
Like you said, together we are better.
We are better together. Yes, we are.
Builds class, confidence, and courage. So that's what I do. That's my call.
Can I add to that?
Yes.
And cash flow.
Yes, ma'am.
Come on. These single mamas need it. Come on. She needs it. Yes. Cash flow. And then we have a gift for you. Thank you so much. Do we get a photo up? All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, our next honoree is Miss Beverly Knox Davis. Beverly is the proud mother of 2 children who are here today, Ashlyn, 17, and Jaden, 16. And she has an inspiring story of healing, restoration, and giving back. All of these women are giving back so powerfully. Beverly experienced divorce in 2007 and spent years battling in court for justice for her children. As a single parent, she was overwhelmed with the stresses of a demanding career in IT to provide for her household, as well as caring for her children who were challenged with sicknesses and emotional issues. The stress of her situation resulted in a stroke in 2014, and she was blessed to not have any permanent damage. Beverly changed her lifestyle and is now healthy. Praise God. Yeah, I know what that's like as a recently recovering woman from sickness. She is giving back to the community through encouraging and equipping youth. She is the owner of Dock It Up Documentation Company and founder of A Brighter Day Ministries, which is a youth nonprofit 501c3 program. Her community service has earned her numerous awards, including Wells Fargo Community Service Award in 2018 and the Mayor's Alliance for Community Partnership in 2018. She is a graduate of North Carolina Central University, and she is proud of the resilience of her children, as most mothers are. You know, we go through things, and as a mom, the greatest thing we're really concerned about is not how we're doing, but how our children are doing as we are going through things. But she's so proud of the resilience of her children. Her daughter, Ashlyn, will graduate this spring from high school and attend college in the fall, and her son will graduate in 2020. Can you all welcome and help me honor Miss Beverly Knox Davis?
First, giving honor to God, I am just so honored to be here today. As was stated, we just go along our way doing what we do as mothers. And I've always just put my children first. They didn't ask to be here. And the journey, and God chose me to be their mother. So I need to be the best mother that I can possibly be.
So I've always set out to do everything to God's greatest in every single thing that I've ever done. Being called into ministry last year and doing my, well, actually before then, and doing my initial sermon last year, everyone's like, well, you know, this is just a formality because you've been doing this. I love the children. Working in my program, A Brighter Day, I have over 200 kids that participate, and oh my goodness, and I have some wonderful babies. To see some of them to have gone through some of the things that they've endured, from being left behind by mothers who just could not do anymore, just gave up. And we've taken in young men that didn't have records, that didn't do anything wrong, were doing great in school, and just helped them along. And I thank my mother, who has helped in housing those young men in their community and getting them through high school. And then they go on and get jobs and to be successful, and then not to make a bunch of babies, and just to go on and be great. So to see my babies, they're all my babies, come along and do so wonderful. It just blesses me. And to see them from elementary all the way through to college now is just an amazing thing. But I love the Lord. And I give him all the honor and praise in every single solitary thing that I do. I thank him for just the healing, because being in that hospital, I just could not believe that I had gotten myself to that place, because we have to take care of the temple that God has blessed us with. So for me, I beat myself up for not doing that and ending up there. But to God be the glory. On that day when the doctor said, you have no permanent damage, you need a life change. And that's exactly what I just struck out to do. So don't ever allow the weight of this world, mothers, fathers, caregivers, to just weigh you down to a place where your temple breaks down. You can't be there for yourself or anybody else. Just trust God and believe in him, and take good care of your place, this holy temple. And then God will use you to bless so many others and become a great inspiration. To God be the glory on this day.
Wonderful, wonderful. For you, Beverly? My photographer, photo up. All right. So wonderful. So wonderful. We have a couple of other honorees that so wanted to be here today. But this person that I want to tell her story. Her name is Tori Knox. Her brother was getting married this weekend, and so she had to be at her brother's ceremony in Washington, D.C. But Tori, who is like a daughter to me, I love to tell her story. Tori Knox is the proud single mother of Savion, 22, and Blake, 15, two boys. She has an inspiring story of dedication, hard work, and resilience. Is Tori behind the picture behind us there? She's a native of Washington, D.C., and who has overcome an abusive marriage and homelessness to become a thriving entrepreneur in Charlotte. These are Tori's words, and I quote, "My financial challenges were nothing to overcome with my hard work and dedication. Through homelessness, we survived and demonstrated that nothing is impossible with God. However, coming out of an abusive marriage was and still is the biggest hurdle, even 13 years after divorcing. Abuse is real, and I advocate for women who suffer through it. My children and I are not victims. We are definitely victorious." Tori is the founder and owner of 6 companies: Posh Cosmetics, the Posh Lofts and Cafe, Posh Clutch Bags, the Posh Shopping Network, Victorious Living, World Class University, and Black Beans Coffee Company. She is also the founder of a 501c3 nonprofit, the Posh Institute for Girls, Teens, and Women. And she says she's most proud that in August of this year, she will be awarded an honorary doctorate in theology. Tori is a Renaissance woman. And so we'll be getting Tori's package to her. And then our last honoree who would love to be here today, but her daughter is graduating from Hampton University today. Yeah, that's a big deal. Her name is Stephanie Luter. Do we have Stephanie's picture? There's Miss Stephanie. Stephanie is the proud mother of Tiana, who's 22, the one that's graduating today, and Olivia, 10. And she also is raising her niece, Ollie, who is 11. And her story is one of courage and perseverance. Her journey began, as some will say, against all odds. Stephanie was born in New York to a middle-class family. Her mother was a bank executive and her father a pastor. Life changed for her when her parents divorced at the age of 5. And at the age of 15, she was pregnant. Her journey to motherhood began while dealing with rejection, disappointment, and exile. She spent her entire pregnancy in a Catholic home for underage pregnant girls. When her daughter was born, she had 2 options. If she gave the baby up for adoption, she could come home. But if she kept the baby, her parents said she could not come home. So Stephanie decided to keep her baby, her firstborn. And she was considered the black sheep of the family and the "you don't want to end up like Stephanie" punchline. She was taken in by the Jeffersons, a family that supported and guided her throughout high school and helped her raise her daughter while attending college. 7 years later, Stephanie graduated with a bachelor's degree. And these are Stephanie's words. These are her quotes. The truth is, nobody can tell you how to be a mother or even prepare you for this journey. But to be honest, I would not trade my experiences and the road that I have traveled for anybody else's. Motherhood wasn't easy. It came with a lot of mistakes, growing pains, mixed with generational curses, opportunities, and lessons learned. But the one thing I will say is that my children were and still are my motivation to become the best version of me. All of the naysayers told me what my life was going to be. And I wear multiple hats. I am a vice president at a Fortune 500 company. She is. She's the founder and CEO of Against All Odds Empowerment Center, which is a nonprofit organization that provides teen pregnancy intervention services to young mothers. And the best role of them all, she is a mommy and auntie to the 3 young ladies she's raising. Looking at me, you would never think that I came from a broken home, was molested and physically abused as a child, and in a domestic violent relationship. I used to think it was cool to show people how well put together I was, but the best part of my life is telling people what and where I came from to who I am today. If you ask my children, they'll tell you that they want to be just like me when they grow up, but I tell them, no, you will be better. Isn't that the words of every mother in here? And so we will get Stephanie Luter her gift. And those are all of our honorees. Can we stand up and just give them just a great big round of applause? Thank God for them.